RHOC Tamra judge contacts attorneys for harassment. RHOC star Tamra Judge has contacted attorneys for harassment. She has been dealing with legal issues this season of the show. The longtime Bravoleb had gotten into it with Jennifer Pedrante's fiancé, Ryan Boyajian. He sent her a cease and desist, but now, what is this harassment issue, and does it involve Ryan or another situation? Keep reading for more details. Tamra Judge contacts attorneys for harassment. Since she joined RHOC in Season 3, Tamra Judge never had a problem speaking her mind. At times it was warranted and could be comical. Other times it was harsh and cruel, making her look like a bully. She was fired from the series after Season 14, but welcomed back for Season 17. That was a hit-or-miss idea for viewers, as she was calling her co-stars out left and right, but it was no longer entertaining. This time around she was mean, and it was just unwarranted. More so, Tamra never wanted to take accountability for her behavior, and then she started therapy. She began after a bad Season 18, which she blamed on editing. Tamra revealed she was taking the leap into therapy during Part 1 of the reunion, and then shared she was on the spectrum. She soon caught backlash for that, as viewers felt she was using that as an excuse for bad behavior. Though she apologized soon after, it may not have been enough. Now Tamra is contacting attorneys, and this time, it has nothing to do with her co-stars or any fellow Bravolebs. According to Mio, Tamra Judge is looking into suing Bravo Babe, real name Christina Huber, who is a digital creator. She is alleging that Christina has been harassing me for weeks. More so, Christina claimed that Tamra held a leadership role for a big Bravo TV news outlet, which the OC star maintains is a blatant lie. She also shared a very strong message on her social media to Christina, letting her know of her plan. Changing her tune. Christina Huber has since deleted her post about Tamra Judge. She shared this on Instagram, and some fans were shocked. Yet others were on her side and encouraged Christina to countersue Tamra. Countersue for intimidation. She has no reason to threaten you with a lawsuit. Truly am sorry she went full Tamra on you. Tamra is always gonna Tamra. Girl, you didn't do anything wrong for her to threaten you in a lawsuit. Tamra needs to stop her shenanigans. We are Team Bravo Babe. It is unclear if Tamra will continue to seek legal counsel or just drop the whole situation. Christina is trying to make it right, but that does not always work for the hottest housewife in Orange County. Tamra Judge, the outspoken star of The Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC, found herself at the center of a media storm once again, but this time it wasn't due to her sharp tongue or a wine-throwing incident. Instead, Tamra was contacting her attorneys to address a growing issue she could no longer ignore: harassment. The trouble started a few months prior, following a heated season of RHOC. Tamra, known for her candid nature and fiery comebacks, had faced her fair share of backlash over the years. Yet this time, the criticism had escalated beyond the usual fan disagreements and social media spats. It began subtly. Anonymous messages flooded her Instagram DMs, filled with cryptic threats and unkind words about her family. Tamra had initially brushed them off, chalking it up to the typical trolls who seem to enjoy targeting reality TV stars. But as the weeks went on, the messages became increasingly sinister. They included details about her personal life that weren't public knowledge. Someone out there had crossed the line between being a disgruntled viewer and a genuine threat. One morning, Tamra's husband, Eddie, found an unmarked envelope in their mailbox. Inside was a printout of a photo of the couple, taken from what appeared to be a telephoto lens, accompanied by a note that read, "You'll regret everything you've done." Eddie, usually the calm to Tamra's storm, turned pale as he read the note. "This isn't just someone blowing off steam on Instagram, Tamra," he said, his voice steady but laced with concern. "We need to do something about this." Tamra, for all her bravado, felt a chill run down her spine. She had always prided herself on being able to handle anything thrown her way, but this felt different. It was personal and invasive in a way she'd never experienced. After consulting with Eddie and her close friend and fellow housewife Shannon Beater, Tamra decided to reach out to her legal team. "I'm not letting this person intimidate me," Tamra declared during a FaceTime call with Shannon. "But I'm not going to sit back and do nothing either. I have to protect my family." Tamra's attorneys, seasoned professionals well-versed in handling high-profile cases, took her concerns seriously. They advised her to gather every piece of evidence she could: screenshots of the messages, the threatening note, and any other suspicious activity. They also recommended hiring a private investigator to trace the origin of the threats. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that the harassment wasn't just the work of a random internet troll. The private investigator discovered that some of the threats originated from burner accounts linked to the same IP address. Even more unsettling was the revelation that the person behind the threats had attended several RHOC fan events where Tamra was present. Surveillance footage from one such event showed an individual lingering near Tamra's car after the event ended. While their face wasn't clearly visible, the person's behavior raised red flags. Meanwhile, the harassment continued to escalate. Tamra's phone rang at odd hours, with the caller hanging up as soon as she answered. A rock was thrown through the window of Cat Fitness, the gym she co-owned with Eddie, shattering the glass and leaving the couple shaken. On the rock was another note: "You can't run from this." The stress began to take its toll on Tamra. Though she maintained her feisty demeanor on the show, her castmates noticed she was more on edge than usual. During a group lunch filmed for RHOC, Heather Dubrow brought up the issue, saying, "Tamra, you've been acting different lately. Are you okay?" Tamra hesitated before opening up to the group. "I've been dealing with some stuff. It's personal and scary, and I don't even know how to talk about it sometimes," she admitted, her voice cracking slightly. "But I'm taking action. I'm not going to let this person win." Her castmates rallied around her, offering their support. Even Gina Kirschenheiter, with whom Tamra had clashed earlier in the season, put their differences aside to express her concern. "Nobody deserves to go through something like this," Gina said. "You're strong, Tamra, but you don't have to handle this alone." Tamra's decision to go public with her ordeal during the season had a dual purpose. On one hand, it was cathartic for her to address it openly. On the other, she hoped it would serve as a warning to others about the dangers of crossing a line between fandom and harassment. The investigation took a significant turn when the private investigator uncovered a key piece of evidence: the harasser's identity. It turned out to be someone Tamra had met briefly at a fan meet and greet. The individual had become fixated on her after the event, believing they had formed a personal connection. When Tamra failed to acknowledge them in subsequent interactions, they felt spurned and began their campaign of harassment. Armed with this information, Tamra's attorneys filed for a restraining order and pressed charges. The harasser was arrested, and a court date was set. While the legal battle was far from over, Tamra felt a sense of relief knowing the person responsible was being held accountable. In the weeks that followed, Tamra focused on rebuilding her sense of security. She and Eddie installed a state-of-the-art security system at their home and TUT Fitness. She also began advocating for stronger protections for public figures facing harassment, using her platform to raise awareness. "This experience has been one of the most challenging things I've ever gone through," Tamra said in a confessional interview during the RHOC reunion. "But it's also shown me how important it is to stand up for yourself and not let fear control your life." Tamra's ordeal served as a wake-up call for many, both within the RHOC cast and among her fans. It highlighted the darker side of fame and the importance of setting boundaries, not just for reality TV stars, but for anyone in the public eye. As the season wrapped, Tamra reflected on her journey. While she knew the road ahead might still hold challenges, she felt more determined than ever to face them head-on. After all, if there was one thing Tamra Judge was known for, it was her resilience.